Hi, my name is Joy Hollingsworth. I'm the UC Cooperative Extension Soil Quality and Nutrient Management Farm Advisor for Fresno, Madera, Kings, and Tulare counties. And today I'm going to be talking about programs and tools to use in nitrogen and irrigation management. So first, to give you a little bit of background, the UC Cooperative Extension is a part of the University of California Agricultural and Natural Resources. Within the UC Cooperative Extension Service, we have 175 local advisors, and 8 of these advisors work in Tulare County. We also have 115 campus or county-based specialists, and we have 9 research and extension centers. The research and extension centers are field stations, which are located all across the state in different areas, which allows them to focus on different cropping systems. So we're really lucky in the San Joaquin Valley. We have 3 of the RECs. We have on the west side of the valley, we have the West Side Research and Extension Center in 5 Points, and that focuses on crops that are grown in that area of the state. They also have the ability to do research on salinity and drought studies as well. We also have the Lynn Cove Research and Extension Center, which is in Exeter, and they do a lot of work on citrus. And then in Parlier, we have the Kearney Agricultural Research and Extension Center, which is the largest of all the RECs and focuses on a lot of the different crops that are grown here in the valley. So as I said, we have 8 advisors who work in Tulare County. Now, what county advisors do is research and extension. So for research, some of the work happens at the rec centers, and then sometimes work happens with grower cooperators. For extension, we have a variety of methods that we use, including field days, workshops, webinars, and then also publications, such as trade journals, scientific journals, and then oftentimes farm advisors will have newsletters as well. So I wanted to give you the contact information for the different advisors that we have working in Tulare County, so you can reach out to them with any questions you have. We have Nick Clark, who's the Agronomy and Nutrient Management Advisor, Greg Duhan, who's the Citrus and Avocado Advisor, Ruth Dahlquist Willard works with small farms and in particular specialty vegetable crops. Elizabeth Fitchner works in orchard systems. Julie Finzel works in animal science and rangeland ecology and management. Maggie Ryder works in turfgrass and environmental horticulture, and she supervises the Master Gardener program as well. Gabriel Torres works in viticulture. And again, I'm Joy Hollingsworth, and I'm the Nutrient Management and Soil Quality Advisor. So along with advisors and specialists, we also have community education specialists. 9 of the community education specialists that we have focus on climate smart agriculture programs, which are grant funds that are provided through the California Department of Food and Agriculture. So these climate smart ag programs, there's several of them, including the SWEET program, which is an irrigation management. There's the Healthy Soils program and the AMP program, which is alternative manure management. So as I said, we have 9 community education specialists who were hired to work on these programs. And so 2 of them work in Tulare County. We have Shulamit Schroeder and Samishka Buzoki. So you can contact them if you'd like to get more information about the programs, if you'd like help applying for the programs, they can help you with the applications and helping you set up your programs here. So now I want to go over some of the blogs and websites that UC has available that provide useful resources. So if you grow alfalfa or forages, the Alfalfa and Forage News blog is a really great resource. Has a lot of different research that our advisors and specialists are working on will get published on the blog. So you can see here's information about aphids in alfalfa. It's also a great place if you're looking for announcements about meetings and field days. So the Western Forage and Alfalfa Symposium is always featured here, as well as the Alfalfa and Forage Field Day. So it's a great source if you're interested in alfalfa. Another one is Conservation Agriculture. So if you're interested in any sort of conservation agriculture, conservation tillage, no tillage, minimum tillage, reduced tillage, anything along those lines, as well as cover crops, this is a really great blog to check out. Jeff Mitchell is a specialist with the UC system who's been doing research on this area for a very long time, and has a lot of great posts about the different work he's doing, the work that his collaborators are doing. He's currently working with a group of growers across the state who are experimenting with different cover cropping practices, including different methods to terminate the crop at the end of the season using different types of equipment. So this blog has really great examples of what's going on in that field. Now, if you're interested in trees and vines, the San Joaquin Valley Trees and Vines blog is a great resource. So this is a collaboration between multiple advisors and specialists across the valley who work in these permanent crops. So tree fruits, nuts, vineyards, and all aspects of production. So IPM, soils and nutrients, irrigation practices can all be featured on this blog. Now, if you're more interested in podcast, we have the Growing the Valley podcast, which is started about 2 years ago by two of our orchard systems advisors, Phoebe Gordon and Luke Milleron. And they go over new research and basic information about growing orchard crops. So most of the episodes are about 10 to 20 minutes. You can find their episodes on their website, on Apple Podcast, or on Google Play. And I'll just go to their website real quick so you can see. So here's some different examples of previous episodes that they've aired. And then we have our research and information centers, which are kind of online clearinghouses of different information. So we have the agronomy RIC, so everything from alfalfa to cotton to sorghum. You can find information on that at agric.ucdavis.edu. There's the vegetable RIC, the weeds RIC, and the fruit and nut RIC as well. So a few other UC resources that I want to talk about include the UC Davis Soils Resource Lab that you can find here. So this is a really great website. There's lots of information on here, but I want to go over a couple of these soil web apps that they have. So here's Soil Web. So this is really great if you want to find information about your particular soil or really any particular soil. You can go to menu and then zoom to a location. So right now we're here in Visalia. So you could see if you wanted to find information on this particular soil, it's the Nord Fine Sandy Loam, 0 to 2% slope. You can find information about the different composition of the soil here. If you want to get more details about it, you can click here, see the soil profile, the soil taxonomy, classifications, a lot of different stuff here. Another of the apps that I wanted to show you was the Soil Properties app. So you go to the Properties tab here. Let's say you're interested in checking out the electrical conductivity. So it shows you a map of the entire United States, but you can also zoom in. You can see, not too surprising, there's more salts on the west side of the valley. You can look at pH maps, soil organic matter, lots of different things. So this is a really cool website to play around with if you're interested. And the third one that I want to show you is the Groundwater Banking Index. I think this will be really useful in the near future if you're trying to figure out if your ground is suitable. Just start doing research or recharge. So this shows you the map. You can check that out. All right, now I also want to talk about the UC cost studies. So the cost studies website has really great information if you're, especially if you're interested in growing a new crop. You can find out, get an idea of what costs are associated with implementing it, but also not just the costs, also all the practices that go with it. So if you're interested in growing raisins, can see it's talking about established cultural practices, what materials you need, what kind of trellising system, different information about vines, pruning, pest management, irrigation, basically everything you need to know about the crop they've put together in these cost studies. And they tend to update them every couple years, but that will vary. But you can filter those studies by year, by commodity, by region, by county, if there's something in particular that you're looking for. I want to show you that we have a lot of different publications that you can access. If you go to the UC/ANR catalog, so the catalog is great because it has not only free PDFs that you can download, but also books that you can purchase on a really wide variety of topics. You can see if you're looking for something in particular, search for it. See a lot of different publications on water. Including some books that you could purchase, or as I said, some PDFs that you could just download for free on the website. Another source of publications is California Agriculture, which is a peer-reviewed journal. So you can access the articles and the issues here on their website for free. You can go see them on their website, or you could download a free PDF, or you could subscribe and get the journal quarterly. Lots of different ways. And so a lot of UC research will get published here in the California Agriculture if you want a little more scientific research publications. All right, now I want to switch gears a little bit and start showing you some tools that we have available. So CropManage is a nutrient management decision support tool. It integrates location, crop, soil nitrate, irrigation systems, soil properties. And currently it supports vegetables and berry crops, but in the future they're hoping to add field crops as well. So you can access it by going to this website here, cropmanage.ucanr.edu. Now I've already signed up for the website, so the first time you go to this website, you'll see a page to log in or sign up, but it's a free registration. And once you do that, you'll get to this page here. So the first thing I want to show you is if you go to the menu and then help, you'll find tutorials on how to set up the ranch and plantings, and I'm going to go through all this in a minute too. But just to show you, here's that they have tutorials available. They also have topics, more information here, frequently asked questions section, a glossary. Here's who to contact if you have any questions, and then just kind of a general overview. But back to setting up your planting. So the first thing you need to do is create a ranch and give the ranch a name. Now, if you know the coordinates, you can enter them here, or you can just zoom to where your ranch is. All right, so your ranch is created. Now you can choose if you have other people you want to be able to access this. You can add them here, and there's different options for how they can view or edit. Next thing you want to do is add a planting area. And again, you choose the coordinates. So once you do that, you'll see it all automatically pop up with what that soil type is. Add the planting area. Now you can add fertilizers. So choose whichever fertilizers you like to use. See, there's a list of 221. Pick a few. And then the other thing you can do is if you don't use any of those, if you used a customized fertilizer, you can put that in right here. add that. So next you add a weather station. So because you've already put in your location, it's going to automatically pop up with whatever's closest to you, but you can choose. Then you can start adding water sources. So put in a well. Put in as many water sources as you want. All right, now you choose commodity type. So as I said, they just currently mostly have vegetable and berry crops, but hopefully they'll be adding more down the line. All right, so you've set up your ranch. Now you can start adding a planting. So you choose your commodity, get your dates in there, choose your planting area. So then they start filling in automatically. So now you can play around with your irrigation settings. So you can choose which well you want to use. You can choose which irrigation system, what your application rate is, what uniformity is. If you know, if you have a flow meter, you can add that information here. Here's your soil settings. You can change this if you need to. Crop settings. So now this is showing you that your tomato crop is taking up 220 pounds of N per acre. It's got a recommendation. You can add more information here. Change this. Lots of different things you can modify to see for your crop. All right, so you've set up your ranch, you've set up your planting. There's a lot more that you can do on the website, but one last thing that I want to show you is if you go here. Oh, I didn't actually create that planting. So let's try this again. All right. Now, if you right click, then you can make some adjustments here. You can duplicate the planting if you want the same as last year, or if you have several that are similar and you just want to make some modifications. There's a lot that you can work on here. You can also, if you just single click on this, it's going to come up to this window. And here's where you're going to add, if you want to put in an irrigation. You can if you want to add fertilizer, if you want to do a soil sample, gives you some different suggestions on that. You can do tissue samples as well. So lots of different ways that you can modify this. So that was just a really brief overview of CropManage. There's a lot more that you can do with the website, but just wanted to give you an idea of how to get started on it. So it's really great. You've got everything stored in one place. You can access it anytime, anywhere. Now, as I said, I went over that really quickly, but if you're able to attend the online webinar July 15th, 2020, CropManage is hosting one. You can get more information here on this website. There's a registration fee, but it's going from 1 to 4:30 on July 15th, so you can come check that out. All right, I want to talk about a few other resources. So one of them is the California Fertilization Guidelines. You can check them out here on this website. So these were done in cooperation with UC Davis and the California Department of Food and Agriculture with their Fertilizer Research and Extension Program, FREP. So they have fertilization guidelines on a lot of different crops, so you can check them out here. So let's say you're interested in cotton. You can see provides information on nitrogen, on soil testing, petiole analysis, Food plant nitrogen, if you want to apply it as a side dress, different fertilizer types, apply it foliarly. There's also information about phosphorus and potassium. A lot of different things you can check out here, and here's all their resources that they use to create these guidelines. So they have those guidelines for 28 different crops, and it includes fertilizer and soil test tissue sampling information. They also have, same group of people created these crop nitrogen and uptake and partitioning for 27 different crops. You can access them here. So again, if you're interested in cotton, you can see the seasonal uptake curves, you can see the nitrogen partitioning, how much nitrogen is removed at harvest according to different studies that have been done. So you can see that for all these crops over here. And this is a little bit different. This is a report that you can download, a free PDF. It's nitrogen concentrations and harvested plant parts. So this was work that Daniel Geisler took on. He's a researcher for UC Davis, and he went through literature. A lot of different research studies have gone on over the years looking at nitrogen in different crops, and so he's kind of put them all together to get averages. So you can see he's got the nitrogen harvested in these different plant parts. He's got the number of observations, how many of the different studies, what the variation is. So you can see it's a big document, it's 157 pages, but I'll just go to one page so you can see an example. So if you're interested in alfalfa, you can see that according to the studies, it removes on average 62.3 tons or pounds of nitrogen per ton of alfalfa at the average of 12% moisture. So you can see the studies that this was based on, what the variability is, and gives you a little an idea of what to expect there. So the next thing I want to show you is a nitrogen calculator that was developed for the Central Valley for 19 different crops. So the way this works is you choose your crop. So if you're interested in sorghum, you can put in what you expect your yield to be. So let's say 3 tons. Put in your planting date. Put in what you expect your harvest date to be. Calculate that, and then you come up with, all right, so you expect 33 pounds of nitrogen per ton of sorghum harvested. So you expected 3 tons, that's 99 pounds per acre. This is the total uptake, which leaves 56 pounds left over in the residue. You can see the uptake curve over the course of the season. If you want a little more information, you can mess around with the irrigation system. So let's see. You've got put in your soil type. Calculate that out. So this is again showing you how much nitrogen is being taken up, how much is residual nitrogen isn't left over in the soil from what you put in before, what's going on with your irrigation, how much nitrogen is being mineralized. So then depending on what your water application efficiency is, it's going to change your risks for leaching, and then gives you an idea of how much nitrogen you need to apply to account for that leaching. And the last one that I want to show you briefly is another calculator. This one is specifically just for processing tomatoes, but you can access that here on this website. So it gives you nitrogen budget and some suggested in-season fertigation information here. So those are the resources that I want to share with you today. Please go through, check out the links, and then let me know if you have any questions. Here's all my contact information. And thanks for listening.